Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are continuing our series of Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 2 episode reviews by taking a look at episode 13 of Season 2 of Dragons Rising, entitled They Gather for the Feast. Kind of a strange title, but it is what it is. Now, as usual with these episode reviews, we will start by talking about the positive elements of the episode at hand, then we will get into some of the more negative aspects, until finally, at the very end of the video, I will give the episode a score out of 10 according to my own opinion. Also, this video will contain spoilers for the episode at hand. Keep that in mind, spoilers are ahead. So, episode 13, They Gather for the Feast. A very interesting episode indeed. First of all, I enjoyed all of the flashback stuff with Eren and Frack. This episode kind of introduces us to Frack as a character. He was Eren's childhood best friend, and now he is the elemental master of Quake. I know for some folks that elemental power will be rather questionable, but like I've said in previous videos, we have fire and we have heat, so in the same style, we have earth and we have Quake. Kind of makes sense, I guess. But Frack was awesome. I don't have any issues with Frack as a character, even in later episodes. Spoilers, I guess. I think Frack is pretty cool. I also enjoyed seeing other elemental masters like Xantance, or as I call him, Mr. Snailman. He is actually the elemental master of Plant. Again, another questionable elemental power, I suppose. He's actually framed later for a crime that he did not commit, and I actually felt bad for him. He's such a cool, cute character. Unfortunately, he will not be participating in the Tournament of the Sources. More on that sequence here in a second, but I really enjoyed Mr. Snailman in this episode, not gonna lie. I also enjoyed the banquet sequence, the whole dinner sequence. I liked that. A lot of cameo appearances from other elemental masters, including some returning faces like Zeatrix. Now, Zeatrix is revealed here to be the elemental master of Shockwave. Makes sense. I do not have an issue with that elemental power. I do have an issue, though, with Zeatrix looking exactly like Beatrix when it was described earlier in Season 1 of Dragons Rising that they had very different hairstyles. I know that haircuts exist, but why did she need to do this one? Again, just kind of felt like a fake out that really did not work when you think about it for more than 2 seconds. But I enjoyed the banquet sequence overall. Zeatrix is very intense, especially with Lord Ras. I love how she talks to him, and also, yeah, we have some villains in this sequence as well. They don't really do a whole lot except intimidate the ninja. The episode ends, though, with an assassination attempt on Lloyd, where a mysterious cloaked figure tries to stab Lloyd with a poison barb thing from a plant, I guess. And I loved this action sequence because it is so intense and every single ninja gets involved here. As soon as Ryu starts freaking out in the sleeping quarters and everyone just jumps into action immediately, that was such a fun scene to watch, and it's a great battle going throughout the rather beautiful tournament temple city, or the City of Temples, whatever you want to call it, and it ultimately ends with the reveal that this assassin is a robot, and one was also sent after Lord Ras and also Zur, the elemental master of Reflex. Interesting stuff there, keep that in mind for later episodes, but I enjoyed this entire action sequence with the assassination attempt. It was a lot of fun, and we also have a little bit of a J hint as well. More on that in the next episode, obviously. In terms of the bad stuff, like I mentioned earlier, the whole thing with Zeatrix looking exactly like Beatrix, the only reason why that was done was because they wanted us to think that Lloyd was seeing Beatrix in his visions. Instead, he was seeing Zeatrix, but it really did not work because, again, why would Zeatrix have the exact same haircut as Beatrix? It just doesn't really make sense story-wise or context-wise. It only exists like that to, again, set up that twist. And also, let's talk about Roby. He is just the worst. Every single word out of his mouth makes me want to scream. I do not like this character at all. And what's worse is that Wildfire likes him, and I like Wildfire as a character. I think she's awesome, but it's like, come on, this guy? Seriously? Roby? No. And also, we do have a little exposition dump regarding the Source tournament and how it works. I still am not a big fan of the whole idea of the loser of each match giving their power to the winner, because again, there is no conceivable way that this would end positively. There's no reason why this needs to be there. The only reason why this plot point exists is so that later on everything can go wrong. Again, it just kind of builds up this super obvious and predictable storyline that we can see coming a mile away. It's just frustrating, and I guess overall my thoughts and feelings regarding this episode, I don't hate this episode. I would probably put it on par with episode 1 of season 2 part 2, or episode 11 of season 2 rather. And in terms of this episode, for everything that I listed in today's video, I will give it a score of a 7 out of 10. Yeah, it definitely could have been improved, but it wasn't all bad, of course. It was more positive than negative, so what can I say, really? With that being said, though, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here regarding episode 13 of season 2 of Ninjago Dragons Rising. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this one, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.